Hello and welcome to my 2025 reading journal flip through. So excited to be able to dive into these journals and share the spreads that I've been creating all year. Now, I always like to preface this by saying this is my reading journal / life journal. So there's a lot of life events that I'll yap about later on in the journal, but the beginning pages are all entirely book centric. And then we kind of trickle into, the more life stuff. But regardless, I hope that I'm able to give you guys some inspiration for your own journals. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and hop into journal 1. This is a notebook therapy journal. They are my favorite brand to use for journaling, and that's all I have to really say about it. Starting straight off with just my title page where I have my name, and then typically I will also write my phone number after the fact. That way, if I ever lose this in a move, or if I'm using it out and about, which I never do these days, but I always like to write my phone number in it as well, just in case it needs to be returned to me, because my whole life is in here, so I would love to not lose it. The next page is just a nice little title page. Every year I do a map, and you can actually watch my 2026 spread and my 2024 spread setups, and all the maps that I create as cover pages end up connecting, which I think is so fun. And then the last page that's not book-centric, before we get into the beginning book-centric pages, is just my media growth, which most of this is blurred out because it's a lot of financial number things that I like to keep track of. I just love some stats. I am, as I always say, a stats girly, so I like having a page, just an overview for the year to see how I'm doing, and then some really fun achievements. This was a page that I actually created at the beginning. Prior, I used to do this page at the end, but then I would have to rack my brain on what I achieved. And some of these aren't big achievements. I beat my first ever Zelda video game, but I wanted to commemorate. So I love just celebrating the small wins and the big wins as well. And then we have the first bookish page, which is my library spread. Now, this is a little sad for me because I just didn't do a lot of reading this year. Obviously, this is a lot of books. It's over 70. However, in comparison to previous years, not a lot of reading. I'm still so proud of this page. I love how the color palette came together. I've been trying to get better about experimenting with colors and just getting more confident about using colors. I'm not good at it. So seeing this all come together with these peach colors, the tans and the gold, I like how this page looks a lot. I feel it's very unique, very me, and it's just so fun to see it fill out throughout the entirety of the year. So this is definitely a page that, even if you don't have a whole reading journal, just even creating a page for yourself to fill out during the year like this is so much fun. You can also do this by star rating instead of format. I just prefer to categorize these by formats. So peach colored books, as well as the pink, those are all the physical books I read. The ebooks are all this nice light tan, or I guess light yellow. And then tan is the audiobooks. And then we have the library books as well in yellow, which hopefully next year I will do better about borrowing more books from the library. I borrow a lot of books from the library, but then I don't actually read them. Moving on to the next page, this is my reading goal. So my goal every year is to read 100 books. Whether or not I reach it or not, honestly, I'm not too pressed about it. My goal is never number centric. I'm not gonna suddenly read a bunch of novellas to try to reach this goal. It's just cool to see how many books I can read in a year, and typically it's around 100. This year in particular though, just a little bit of a slower year, a very busy year for me art-wise, so I didn't pick up a lot of books, which totally okay. I just wish I had picked up some better books, which we'll talk about in a little bit. I just feel my reading year was just the strangest reading year I've had in a while. I definitely enjoyed this page while it lasted. I like the different colors. These colors coordinate to the colors that I have with this color key here. I just felt it was one more page that I had to keep up with, so I did end up ditching this page for next year's setup, but again, it was really fun when I had it. Okay, so this page, kind of awkward. Yeah, 2025 TBR, she existed. That's really all I have to say about it. As for the books I've actually read on this TBR, kind of rough. So starting here, I did buy that book to read it, have not read it. I am halfway through The Lives of Locke Lamora, but I don't think I'm gonna finish it before the end of the year. But A Girl Can Dream, no, yes. And I read actually 6 or 7. Oh my God, sorry guys. I read 6-ish or maybe 7 of Carl. Obsessed with the series. Book 5 is my favorite. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I did read Sunrise on the Reaping, Great Big Beautiful Life, Okay, Sword of Kaigen, Frieren, yes. Still have not read Lord of the Rings. Please don't yell at me. Still have not read Anne. Please don't yell at me. No, I did read that. And I marked this off of my TBR because after like reading the synopsis again, I was like, maybe I actually don't want to read that. And I just kind of like went from there. But I liked this format a lot with like all the books up top and then, you know, marking off the ones that I read. Clearly, didn't do a great job, but it's fun to set TBRs even if you don't actually stick to them. It's just like the act of putting together a good TBR. My yearly stats, what did we say earlier? Big stats girly, love them. What an interesting reading year. Like truly, like I said earlier, the craziest reading year I've had. We have months where I read 3 books. We have months where I read 4 books. The most I read in a month was 9, which we have 3 months of those. Crazy reading year, you can like pause and like zoom and whatever if you want to, but the craziest stat that I want to point out is all these zeros down at the bottom for my rereads. If you don't know, I have a bit of a rereading addiction. I love a good reread, but the fact that I've gone 5, nearly 6 months, honestly probably 6 months, without rereading a book is insane. I don't think I've gone even a month or 2 prior in my life not rereading a book. So this is insane to me, like absolutely insane. We have my series tracker, which Veronica Speedwell I got to track and that was fun. Stormlight I got to mark 1 thing off. Frieren I got to mark 1 thing off. The Apothecary Diaries I think is the main one that I got to actually like read further into, but I didn't touch any of the other ones. So we're moving on, okay. Release radar. I ended up actually shrinking this to a 1-page spread for next year just because I didn't end up referencing this that much, but it's still so nice to like put books down here to remind me of them when I do look at the page. So I did end up shrinking this, but it was pretty useful in the beginning of the year, and then the end of the year I just like gave up on keeping up with what was coming out. Okay, my books bought page, I actually kept this pretty similar for next year. I loved doing the book covers, and then I have these little like check boxes of whether or not I actually read the book and bought it like in the same year. That way it's just like an extra accomplishment to know that I bought the book and read it in 1 year, which, you know, as readers yourselves, I'm sure you don't often experience either. All things considered, I feel like I did okay. If you're wondering why A Gathering of Shadows is next, that's because I read it in past years, but I just didn't own a copy and I ended up buying a copy. I did make this like way too many. Like I did not buy that many books this year, so I ended up like chopping this down, I think, to just like this amount, maybe with like an extra row on the bottom for next year. Yeah, the cool thing about the Dutch doors is that I can flip this page and be like, look, it looks entirely full when you're flipping through, so it's very satisfying, even though, you know, I have all this empty space behind here, but like no one needs to know about it, okay? We can ignore my One Piece buying, okay? Look at this, beautiful. All right, my monthly favorites. This was wild, okay? This selection is insane because out of all of these, the only ones that I could be like, those are like new favorites, like definitively, Frieren, like obviously without a question. It's Carl book 5 over here and then One Piece. Every other book, I wouldn't really describe as like a new favorite. Oh, and A Treacherous Curse, I'm sorry. Veronica Speedwell, of course, love her. But everything else, like, this one was a 5-star. That was a 5-star. I did end up giving Edge Dancer a 5-star, but I think that was mainly because I really liked the audiobook. And then One Piece, of course, I gave a 5-star. Everything else is like a high 4-star, which is crazy. I had the lowest amount of 5 stars ever, and I think that was just like a me problem with the books that I was picking up. I just was picking up all the wrong books, quite frankly. But I adore this page so much. I think it's so cute, and it's so fun to see it come together throughout the entire year as you like add. It's just so satisfying. Like that's another like thing I love about journaling is just seeing these beginning pages especially like come together throughout the year. It's like the slow burn of what will it look like by the end of the year. And then this is new as well. It's basically the monthly favorites from here, but a little description about each one, about my thoughts. Spoiler warning, if you haven't read these, like, I don't know what I write in here, but there's probably spoilers in here. And then I just like put a little sticker, like sort of correlating to each, not like perfectly, but I thought it was like a fun idea. I think these pages are really cute, and I want to, and I know I say this like every single year, but I really want to do more like book-centric pages like this, like throughout the year. So for like book favorites that I love, I really want to make like, okay, I loved this volume of whatever. Let's make a page for it. every time I think I'm gonna do that, I end up falling so far behind, and then I'm like, okay, I don't remember the thoughts I wanted to say, or I don't have the energy to like make these spreads because I have all these other spreads I wanna make. So same thing, just continue out through the year. I think it's so cute. I love it. This next page, super special page, and it finally all came together because it was kind of ugly all year. Like it literally just came together yesterday because I added the last map down here because I saw that Molly had posted on socials that it was coming out in a few days in December, and I was like, yes, perfect, the last spot. If you don't know, I am a fantasy cartographer and I work with a lot of authors to draw maps for their novels, and this was just a page to commemorate the books that have come out with their corresponding map. And this is not all the maps that I drew this year. Some of these I actually drew last year, and then obviously like the publishing process is like very, very long, but it's so cool to just see them all together. I ended up, after I added this last map on here, I added these little like stickers and washi tape and sparkles and stuff to actually like pull the page together, because originally it was all empty and I hated this page so much, and I was really hoping that it would still look good. I didn't know how many books were going to come out this year, like I didn't know if I could actually fill this or not, but I'm really, really proud of this page. And yeah, it was just a really special page. I didn't actually end up doing it for next year, which I may end up doing like some pages where it's like the focus is on the, like one of the books and not like a whole collage of them. But I think it was like a really like fun thing to do. If you're like a cover designer, I feel like this also could be a really cool idea for a journal spread. Just have like a collage of all the art you've made and like when the books come out. Just thoughts. And then we have my books read page, which also another thing about this journal that drives me crazy, which is entirely a me problem. Like obviously the journal that you create, you tailor it to yourself. But I put the beginning pages in such an odd order. Like I never figured it out throughout the entire year of using it. I always was confused on where things were located. So in 2026, I did like reorganize the order that these were in, because this was just not the order to have things in. Anyways, another Dutch door spread, so the pages look full, even though near the end, she's a little empty, and that's okay. So very random selection of books, like I said. The stars here indicate rereads, or I'm sorry, the stars indicate new reads. If they don't have a star, they're rereads. Honestly, I should start like putting numbers about like what number of reread I'm on, because some of these I'm on like an excessive number of rereads, but it's fine. Everything's fine, guys. And then moving here, and honestly, I have one last book I'm trying to read for the end of the year, and it would be so perfect if it just like filled up the last spot. But if I have more books, like no biggie, I have this page and this page. Goodness, she was so optimistic for the year. But it doesn't even matter because, again, I don't mind because it's a Dutch door, so you can't even tell. So I definitely recommend for pages that you're filling out like this throughout the year, where you have like a lot, but you're not sure like exactly how many, do the Dutch door. It works perfectly. I love it. Okay, she is the moment, and that is my 2025 Spotify Wrapped page, one of my favorite pages to create every year. Remember how I said earlier, big stats girly? I love tracking all of this throughout the year, like the monthly favorites, to then like create the spread. And then obviously all these other numbers are from Spotify. This other information is from Spotify. But my top song, Crimson Queen by The Warning. The Warning is like my all-time favorite band. I love them. I want to be them. They are phenomenal. If you like rock, I highly recommend you go check them out. Although, funnily enough, Revenant and Crimson Queen are their slower songs. So even if you don't like rock, go listen to them. Phenomenal. Please listen to all of these songs. I'm obsessed with all of them. Snake Charmer right now is like still a hyperfixation. Phenomenal. My top artists as well. My top songs 2 through 10, because obviously I have like one up there. My favorite album. This actually isn't even on Spotify, but I have the album downloaded on my phone. And I have listened to The Monster Is Loose by Meatloaf an ungodly amount of times. And if it was on Spotify, I guarantee you Alive would have been in my top songs, without a doubt. They just don't have it on Spotify. I don't know why. And then I always have like a little section at the bottom for like my concert wrap up. I used to go to a lot more concerts, but this year I only went to 2, which was Stray Kids and Set It Off. So I love this page, but it's another idea of just like pages that maybe aren't like book centric, but still fun to like track. Guys, I literally cannot describe like how much I look forward to making this page every single year. Like it's my favorite page to put together. And then this last like beginning spread before we get into the monthly spreads is just like a little readathon that Katie and I were supposed to do. You can go bully her because she did not read any Ranger's Apprentice this year, but it's fine. I got over myself, okay? But the agreement was like, for every Veronica Speedwell book that I would read, she would read the corresponding Ranger's Apprentice book. Honestly, like, it's kind of on me as well, though, because I didn't start reading, it was supposed to be like January, February, March, April, etc., but I didn't start reading Veronica Speedwell until like the summer, and then I binged like 5 or 6 volumes in a month. So it's like kind of on me, but like, go bully her to read Icebound Land for me, okay? Thank you. All right, and then we're moving on to January. Now, how all of my cover pages work is I have like I have like the monthly title, whatever, and then I have what books I read. I want to switch it up in the new year, try some new things. I do like all of these spreads, but I just want to switch things up a little bit. So you can kind of see an overview of all the books I read per month, and then obviously what month it was. And then a lot of these life-related. I spent New Year's in Japan with my friend, so I wanted to just commemorate it. I had like little postcards and other stickers that I had bought from Japan as well. Lots of shopping. I brought a checked bag. I am banned from ever bringing a checked bag to Japan ever again because I was going crazy. I love Japan so much. We have Castle Fair, which was like a little Renaissance festival set in a castle, Uhuberg Castle in Georgia. So fun. And I met the most amazing group of people here. I ended up rooming with 16 strangers in 2 cabins in Georgia. And it also snowed, which was amazing. We got some like stellar shots outside. It was so cold though. And there was also the Realms of Winter Ball, which again, so perfectly thematic because it was snowing. But going through snow and slush in mud, in heels, in a fluffy ball gown, I do not recommend. It was so fun though. We did like contra dancing, which was like my favorite. If you ever have the opportunity to go to a ball and they specifically mention that they're gonna do contra dancing, guys, I recommend it, like 10 out of 10. I think I can most compare it to Bridgerton where they do like the group dances, but they're very like simple. It's like a few steps and you just kind of repeat it and you switch partners. So much fun. And then I did a little like book-centric page, and then I proceeded to not write any of my thoughts. I did a little bit of like a Fourth Wing reread to prepare for Onyx Storm, and this was like the midnight release that one of the local bookshops here in Orlando had hosted. But I actually hated Onyx Storm to the point where I'm like DNFing the series and like moving on with my life. But I wanted to still fill in these boxes with something, so I put Fourth Wing, a fun time. Iron Flame, better than my last read of it. Onyx Storm, no. So some really stellar and like well-developed and fleshed out thoughts for you guys. And we're moving right along. Okay, so Taekwondo is something that I started this year for a little bit and then I moved. It's a whole thing, I'll explain later. But on each page I have like a certificate of like when I get my belt, my new belt, they give us like a little certificate and some like pamphlets, and I just ended up like cutting those up, and yeah, it was just really, really fun to put these together. They're all pretty much the same, like as I advance through the belt ranks, but super cute, super fun sport. I kind of miss it. I mostly miss just breaking boards with my feet and my hands. It's just like so cool. And then we have February. This was really fun. I just had some sticker sheets and I just like went ham with the stickers. I was just like, you get a sticker and you get a sticker, and there's no blank spaces, just everyone gets stickers. But nothing happened in February other than hitting 20K subscribers. So I wanted to do like a fun little page to commemorate that. And then I, again, just like collaging all of the stickers I possibly can onto this page, and this gorgeous washi tape from the washi tape shop, which I will also link a discount code in the description. If any washi tape you see like strikes your fancy, most of them are from the washi tape shop. March, finally, a St. Patty's Day themed spread that I don't hate. These stickers are from my friend Julianne Doodles from Peppercut Studios. They're so cute. It was so perfect. And I love this cover of Freyrin like on the cover as well. Just like, it works so well. My 23rd birthday, which we'll ignore that this says 23rd, okay? Just because I'm 23 does not mean I know how to spell, okay? I'll play some video games with my brother. He came to visit me. It was a lot of fun. We went to the beach. I'm not a beach person, but there's some cute birds that I was like taking photos of. And then it was my friend's 22nd birthday, so I went to Georgia, went to like the Georgia Aquarium, and then we went and did like painting with a twist, which was so fun. And it's so funny because April's like actually like an artist who like paints. I do not paint, I do not like painting, but I just forced myself to have a good time, and it actually was a good time. And I also, while I was up there, got to visit my friend Kristen and her barn and her cute little horse as well, and I got mauled by these puppies. There's double the amount of puppies that you can see in this photo, but I got mauled by them. They were like eating my legs alive. It's just like a tidbit miscellaneous page with like a bunch of random things I did. The first F1 race of the season, making some chainmail, got some food with my friend. I joined a stunt group which was honestly the wildest side quest I think I've done. I learned how to sword fight with real steel, actually learned how to fake fight, and I was actually going to audition for the Renaissance Festival show that they do. They do the human chess match for the Orlando Renaissance Festival, but just schedule conflicts didn't work, and also practicing in a park for like 4 hours outside in the heat, not necessarily like my favorite thing, but I met some amazing people and it was a really fun experience. Another Taekwondo page, same thing, just different belt. And then we move on to April, which I love this situation going on here. I think it's so pretty. Love the cloud washi tape, and these stickers, I love the style that they're in as well. And then we have the Scarborough Renaissance Festival, which is my hometown Texas Renaissance Festival in Waxahachie. And I actually ended up going with my parents this year because the friend that I usually go to the Scarborough Festival with, Lexi, which you'll actually see later on because they have a fall version that she and I went to, but she couldn't make it because of schedule conflicts, but I ended up still going with my parents. They are the cutest people ever. Like, I'm so lucky to have them as parents, and this was like the best day ever. I had so much fun, and I always loved making these pages to commemorate it as well. And then, guys, the craziest thing that happened this year was drawing my How to Train Your Dragon map, posting it, going viral, having like the official account comment, and then actually like selling copies, and then just insane. I also got to go to Epic, which is on, okay, not this page, but you'll see in a bit. I love this cover page as well. This was just like a random sticker from like a sticker book, and I was like, yes, pirate theme. And all these little like coins, so cute. And then you can see I started my Apothecary Diaries binge. Here's where I went to Epic. I went to more than just Burke, but all the photos and videos I have are from going to Burke and then going again with my mom. Actually, she's down here. She's so cute. I love this. I love this page so much. Actually, all the pages in May, I absolutely adore. Spent Mother's Day with my mom. We went to like medieval times, visited home, watched some F1 with my dad, and then Scotland. Insane. I cannot believe that these pictures exist and they are of me. Like, it feels like I was in a different universe. Like, truly felt like I went into a portal when I was in the Highlands. It was amazing. And then we also went to Wales. Words can hardly describe this experience. Like, again, felt like a portal to a new world. Georgia Renaissance Festival, so cute. Like, one thing I really love doing is when, like, this is cut out from like the map that they give you. I just like adding those little tidbits because then the pages can look cute without you needing to do any lettering. Like, all of this took no artistic talent. Like, all it was just like sticking titles onto the page, and like that was that. Then we have June, which I've had these stickers for years, so excited when I finally got to use them. And then same with like the Peppercut Studio like Pokemon stickers. I've had them for years, and every summer I kept forgetting to use them. And I was like, 2025, this is my year. Did some pottery, which I cannot believe it's been 6 months of me doing pottery. Like, I'm obsessed, love it. Stray Kids concert as well. I love this little sticker with Psyduck. It's so cute. Another Taekwondo belt rank. And then we move on to July, which honestly was a horrible month. So I thought it was so perfect that I did like fire themed, because that's literally, it felt like a dumpster fire. Like, that is how my month went. And I love all these covers next to each other. I love when pages like come together because of how pretty the book covers are. Just phenomenal. And then the last page in this journal is just like a miscellaneous fun page. And then my little Dungeon Crawler Carl page. I got to meet Sid from Sid Bookworm, who is the sweetest human being ever. She is such a delight, and we ended up buying a bunch of Carl books, basically, and in the books, there's like achievements, because it's like a intergalactic game show. It's a whole thing. You guys should read it. But it's like, new achievement, and then like some little descriptions of like, you met Sydney. Like, it was just really fun to put it together, and that's the last one for this particular journal, but there is more. So I'm gonna go ahead and put away this journal, which actually, let's have some commotion. Just, she's so thick, she's so beautiful. I love her. But having this little clasp here is so nice because then condenses her down a little bit. This journal, on the other hand, I bought off of an Etsy shop. And I'm not gonna talk about, I mean, if you really wanna know, I'll let you know. I just have a lot of complaints about this journal, mostly because I've learned from using this, I'm actually a journal snob, and I don't mean to be, but this just didn't really work for me as like a journal and how I use my journal. And we'll leave it at that, but it has a stunning design on it. Like, do not get me wrong, I'm obsessed with this cover, and then the inside page as well. Gorgeous. I just hated that it didn't like lay flat to journal, and it doesn't have like a clasp to, again, condense the pages down, because She is hanging on for dear life, mostly thanks to these Dragon Con ribbons. We'll get to that in a second, but let's just go ahead, flip through. I did end up making like a little cover page for August to December, basically saying, hey, look, this is the second journal. And then we move straight into August, which you'll see, it's so funny. The less books I read, like the bigger I make these book covers for this page, because I'm like, look how many books I read, like so many. And I got this map washi tape. Love. You guys know how I feel about maps, and if you don't, I feel like you should at this point. I got to go to Gen Con as a panelist to talk about map making and being a cartographer and world building. It was an amazing experience. I will be going back next year, no matter what. I met some amazing people. This is Kirsten. She's Wildcraft Maps on Instagram. She's the one who actually like invited me out to be on this panel. This is Doug from Just Doug, I think. He doesn't post on socials because he has a full-time gig and he's doing just fine working for D&D Shorts. Again, phenomenal human beings. All of these people, so creative. They're like Twitch streamers and artists and YouTubers, and they're just all like in the D&D world. And I know it's blasphemy. I've never played D&D. I've played Melee in the Labyrinth, which is very, very similar to D&D. Played that growing up, but I've never actually like played D&D. And getting to just interact with these people and learn about their passion and their love for this game was phenomenal. I also met Emma Wang, and I ended up getting Blood Over Brighthaven. I got it signed. Phenomenal experience. So phenomenal, I have 2 pages worth. So this is me on the little panel. So fun, so cute. And I wanted to keep, this is like everyone's information who was on the panel, and I wanted to keep that. I also loved the program cover for Gen Con. It is absolutely phenomenal, but she needed to fit on this page. And then I also tucked behind here the fact that the event was sold out. That's like the screen capture, just a little selfie. And then I also have this, which is like all the questions that Kirsten had prepared for us. And then this was like my little section. So lots of things just kind of like shoved in here, but it's fine. Everything's good. K-pop Demon Hunters. What a fun page to put together. I ended up watching, when it went in theaters for like the sing-along version, I ended up watching it on one of my layovers. And guys, it was so fun. It was so cute. And I wanted to make like a little page to commemorate that because they gave us like a little like paper poster thing. So I was like chopping that up, putting it in the book. And then we have some like miscellaneous events. I got my biggest tattoo ever, which was Tui and La from Avatar: The Last Airbender. It is insane. And I really hate that it's not somewhere I can look at it every single day because my artist Brooklyn did an incredible job. I went to my high school best friend's wedding. I caught the bouquet, which was crazy. And then this actually was the warning. They recorded one of their concerts and they had it play in theaters, like a limited run in theaters, and I got to watch it, which is good because I ended up getting so sick and missing their concert. Guys, I had VIP. I was supposed to meet them. I'm still so sad about that. But we move on to Dragon Con, which again, a crazy, crazy experience. And all these stickers are not sticking down, but it is fine. If you don't know how like convention ribbon con things work, basically all these ribbons were connected to your name tag, and it's like it's a whole culture of ribbons. So I ended up getting so many, but I didn't want to just like put them in a box. So I wanted to put them in my journal where I could like fold them out and look at them. I'm not going to fold them all out because they're folded so meticulously, but I have so many and I wanted to put it in my journal. But this is a journal that definitely needed a closure to like smush these down, and it doesn't have that, but it's fine. Here are the cosplays that I wore during Dragon Con. My friend Naomi, who again I met in January, I ended up flying to Chicago and we put together this entire like Astrid cosplay, which was phenomenal. Like I was overstimulated as hell, but I had so much fun, and I will do it again in a heartbeat. Like I will have to go back to Dragon Con next year to hang out with my friends, see my friends. Just so fun. And it's the first time I was ever part of like a group cosplay, and it was kind of an accident. They all individually had their cosplays, and then we were like, should we all like just wear it on the same day? So that's what we ended up doing. And then I also went as a map, because what else is a map maker supposed to do except for go as a map? So at Dragon Con, they have these like meetups that are like centric around like a certain whatever. So this was like the Sarah J Maas meetup. So all of these people dressed up as characters from all the different books, and it was so cool. Someone actually gave me this sticker and I'm like, oh, that's going in my journal. Like what a perfect sticker for this journal spread. And of course the map washi as well. This is actually so funny. She's the House of the Wind. And they like split us up in categories, and I was like, Emma, because my friend Emma was running like doing the meetup. I was like, Emma, can we have like an objects category? So it was the House of the Wind, me as the map, and then we also, I think, had a photo with like the worm as well, because someone, you can kind of see, they were like, it was so funny. It was an incredible experience. My fall TBR, I love these stickers. This is actually like pet tape from the washi tape shop to like put together. Actually, everything on this page is pet tape from the washi tape shop, but I love these letterings for fall. I actually use them, again, you'll see. And the color palette for this, oh, so good. This is, again, another one of those pages that I feel like I didn't do that much to make this page look good. Like, the book covers are kind of carrying, and I'm here for it. Did I read many of these? Absolutely not. We're in the middle of Oathbringer. That's the last book I want to read of the year. I'm hoping she happens. Haunted Ever After I did read. Ballad of the Last Dragon, yes. And I started Lies of Locke So progress was made, just not as much progress as I wanted. Okay, I just realized like both the pages where I visit Katie, they are filled with like inside jokes and like random tidbits. The disco ball thing, there's some backstory I'm not gonna explain, but yeah, I feel like I'm actually just not gonna explain this spread. Between the candlelight dinner, Ring Ding Dong, and Kick It. But look at Daisy, Daisy's cute. Yep. And then we have September, another really pretty page, and this is actually washi tape from the washi tape shop, and I just like cut it out to stick it because they're very, very big, and I feel like it works so great, and it's like centerpieces. Another one, this is actually my last one that I did. I wanted to do more, but I moved away from the gym, so it was like a longer drive, and I just couldn't make the drive every day, so it was so fun while it lasted though. Don't worry, I'm doing gymnastics now, so she's still sporty. This I stole from Katie. Katie did like quarterly wrap-ups, which I was like, that is so cute, I need to do that immediately. And so I started doing that in the third quarter, naturally, because another fun thing about journaling is you literally can just do pages whenever you feel like it. Like if I wanted to do like a first and second quarter, I could have also done that just at the end of this journal, like no biggie. But again, I haven't like read that much to like justify it, but it's so cute. And I have like all of these washi tapes in different seasons. So then like my fourth quarter, I'll do either like fall or winter. I haven't really decided. I just think it's so fun. And then I'll have like a little blurb of like what my reading was like, and then the 5-star reads that I did have, how many books and how many pages, which is all referenced from my beginning stats page as well. So that was kind of handy to have on hand. Handy to have on hand. There you go. Then we have October, which suddenly I'm reading books again. Like all these past ones were like 1 book, 2 book, 3 book, and now I'm like 9 books. Although wildest book selection I think I've ever seen, quite frankly. I don't know what I was reading. I was just reading some books, guys. But also I have to point out, look at this little guy. And look at this little guy, little cat, a little scaredy cat, if you will. So cute. Love this washi tape as well. I did end up going to Ranger's Apprentice Day, which is in the Netherlands, but then I got so sick I ended up going home after I think 3 days of being there. So kind of a quick trip. We have Nevermore, which was another event where I met just the most amazing group of creative people. Again, I feel like I've been so blessed with the amount of people that have come into my life this year that I've met and I got to interact with and become friends with, because these experiences were made 10 times better because of these people. So we have these pictures on the beach, which I have learned always bring a sword to the function, because and I also got to take pictures of each and every single one of them, all with my sword as well. And it's so cool. They're all authors. I think I need to talk about that. This was like a book signing event, book market, and also like a fantasy ball at the end of the night. So these are all photos from the ball and like the pre-ball photos or the post-ball photos. Actually, was this in the middle? This was either before the ball even started or after, I don't even remember. Amazing group of people. Again, so many authors were in attendance. I actually got to meet one of the authors I was working with actively on a map with, and I'm like, small world, that's crazy. And they actually invited me as like an influencer. So this was like my little like badge, and I just kind of like cut it up, and I really love how this page turned out. And then again, featuring this gorgeous washi tape from the washi tape shop. And this was the Scarborough Hollow that I was talking about, that Lexi and I, this was our 5th year going together, which, wow, time just absolutely flies, guys. And then this is when I moved again. I actually moved 2 times in 2 months. Don't do it, guys. It's horrible. Like, the situation I was in was really bad, so I had to move, but I just don't recommend moving with a business and 300 books twice in 2 months. Not fun. But my mama came up to help me move, and we had a lot of fun. We had so many Pazookies as well. So the Pazookies and the silly little like Halloween drink out of a bathtub had to make a feature on this page, of course. She's just the cutest, and I'm so grateful. So if you're watching Mama, which I know you are, thank you again for helping me move. And then we have my November TBR. Oh my gosh, I just realized I have like maybe an hour left on the audiobook, and I should finish that book before the end of the year. Like, how many times is this book on a page? We don't have to talk about it. And all of these I either own or had checked out from the library. It just didn't happen, guys. And then we have what I actually read in November, and I love this cover page as well. This lace washi tape is from the washi tape shop. Guys, I'm obsessed. I'm also obsessed with One Piece. Please stop me from buying every single One Piece volume, because there are so many, but I'm gonna have to like buy ones that have like my favorite covers, including the like book one. I love book one so much. All of this looks phenomenal. I love it. And then we have a Renaissance festival, another one that I went to with my friend Manu from gymnastics, and she took some really cute photos actually, like on the most busted camera I've ever seen. But this photo, it's kind of hard to tell because my printer isn't like the best of quality, but it was so, like, it took really good photos, but it had the most busted screen. The colors were inverted, like half of it was cracked and like half of it was black screen. It was crazy. And then this is the other Katie spread I was talking about that have just like the most unhinged things on it. We have like the Parabatai ceremony section from Shadowhunters, which obviously if you guys have been around for a while, you know Katie's my Parabatai. We have Sticker by NCT. We have Gnarly by Cat's Eye. It's a whole thing. It's a vibe, quite frankly, with some stupid pictures of us. It's fantastic. I love this page. It just makes me laugh every time. This page as well, I love commemorating concerts, and I actually ended up taking no photos of like me. I usually take like a little photo like at Barricade or just like a selfie, and I forgot. I was so just in the zone, excited to see Set It Off, I forgot. But I have the playlist here, and all of this like background stuff, they ended up giving us like little booklets. I don't even know. It had like lyrics and notes from all of them, so I ended up like cutting out all their signatures and putting it on my little like VIP badge, because I always like putting the badges from the events in here. And then I grabbed this from Autumn King's Instagram because it was like an insane crowd, and I was like over here, like 3 rows back from Barricade, screaming my lungs out. It was so fun, and I'm like obsessed with how this ended up with like the different lyrics like layered. It felt very like scrapbook junk journaly. It was really fun to experiment with because it's so outside the style of like everything else in my journal. And then this was referring back to the How to Train Your Dragon maps. This was like the actual sales section of like fulfilling all of these orders. Insane, literally life-changing. And I also love, once again, the lace washi tape and these stickers as well. Just think that like really brings it together. And this was also the first time I did like ripped edges around each photo, and I'm gonna have to do that a lot more in the new year because I really like how that looks. And then my December cover page, so good. And obviously I haven't added like the books that I've read, and honestly I don't know if I'm going to. I might have to make like a separate page for like books read, just because I'm so obsessed with the composition of this page. I love it. This is again a big sticker from the washi tape shop. This is on like their pet roll. This like textured paper worked so great. It just like looks like snow. Oh, I'm so obsessed. And then we have updates on my pottery. I've made some crazy stuff, guys, like insane. I'm just like, let's put a map on everything. And then we also have my winter TBR, which again features heavily the washi tape shop. I love like these big stickers because again, it looks like a really fancy and elaborate page when all I did was layer a bunch of things, and the stickers and the cover pages did all the work. I also love how blue this TBR ended up being. And then the very last page that I have made in this journal, and obviously I'm gonna have more for either the wrap up or any other events that I do gymnastics, and I wanted a page to write down all the skills and like when I got them back or when I got them. And the team is called Flip Flops, which I think is so cute because we're in Florida and we're the Flip Flops. So cute. So I wanted to make just like a little page with, we ended up taking like a photo of a couple of us, so it was cool to like have the photo to then like commemorate and make this page. But like I said, she's like a little thick, and I wish she had a clasp. I actually have a piece of yarn that I like tie around to keep it closed because she's a little thick, okay? But she's fine because she's filled with memories of my entire year. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching this. I hope you were able to gather some inspiration, and let me know if you're starting a journal for the new year. I do have a setup video you can watch for some inspiration as well. Have fun journaling, and I really hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys.